Fellas, may I introduce to you a project I've been working on for a very long time. Some of you may remember years ago now, I started talking about building my own not-for-profit healthcare service for trans adults and trans youth, and it's done. In fact, it's been running very successfully for about a year now. It's become one of the best rated trans healthcare services in the UK. It's called Anne, or Anne Healthcare. A friend of mine actually started her transition with Anne, and she didn't know I had anything to do with it up until... Actually, I don't know if they do now. Hi! And look, it's not lost on me. Dead serious, by the way. Sup? That's in chat, I'm sorry. Something really funny about this is that my friend in real life genuinely, that's a real bit. This is them finding out. Yo! An incredible flex I've just gotta have in my personal life. I'm so sorry. Also, holy shit, it's a real thing! I'm not telling you about any plans. I'm telling you about a thing that is currently going on and is real and is happening now. Anyway, what my side job is, but it was made very clear to me since before I even came out that people would look to me for advice or just for comfort with transitioning. I didn't want to say the wrong thing and then everyone's gonna demonize this entire group. It's been a year since I worried about that, and they have. When I started streaming during COVID, there was an awful lot of people that were doing OF at the time that were also doing some charitable venture with it. Like, do you remember that one girl that was like funding money for cancer research? That was what I knew OF to be. I guess it stuck in my head. I'm gonna be seen as the enemy anyways. Why not just say fuck it and do something for my community? I was always very scared about like public backlash and stuff, so I wanted to wait until it was in like a solid spot where like me saying, hey, you should go check this out, wouldn't like fuck it all up, you know what I mean? It could grow on its own. And because I don't need to worry about that anymore, Anne Health includes trans youth. It was a massive part of the mission statement. I know it's a touchy subject, Jesus Christ. But here is a custom link to a bunch of studies finding that the best possible treatment method with the lowest regret rate for trans people struggling with their gender identity and dysphoria is transitioning. It's the thing that saves lives. Statistically, every trans adult was a trans kid. Feel how you want about it, but at the very least, getting a potentially trans kid a qualified therapist is a good idea. Even if they don't pursue medical treatment, just like mental health well-being, they have that option. You can just socially transition or do nothing. Sometimes you just need a therapist. There's always that option. That's part of it.
Unrelated, but don't...
Okay, I'm gonna pause things here because I wanted to talk about it. A few years back, I DM'd like a popular political like trans TikToker and YouTuber about like, hey, would you talk to me about like trans youth healthcare? This is just something I've never really paid attention to, and it was getting a lot of people talking about trans healthcare, and me at the time, I wanna know more about it. I had my donation just specifically for adults to a place that we will not say in this live stream for fear of lawsuits, but either way, and I'd not included trans kids in that, and I didn't have anything past I'm really scared of like what the reaction will be about that, and something about that felt really quite wrong. So when I started getting into this whole thing with people I'll introduce in the video later, youth healthcare was something I kind of wanted to be uncompromising about. I was really scared of announcing any involvement in this project for a while because of various controversies and cancellations and whatever, and I didn't want to bring Anne down with it. I didn't want trans youth to be like a sticking point in that, like, look at how shitty this guy is who's part of this health service that does this awful thing. I didn't want it to just be like a whole, and I'm sure it will be, but either way, I learned that like there's like all the worries that you could have about trans youth. The solution to all of those worries is just let them talk to a motherfucker, and then it just all works out from that. Like that is like it overwhelmingly research points to like just let them transition. I'm saying like let's get them like on the right pipeline of like understanding themselves, because that's a massive thing for mental health in the trans community. I had like really recently, like super recently, I was coming back from Barcelona and I was sitting next to a guy who was this ex-banker. I actually ended up getting his number. He was this ex-finance guy. We started just talking very openly, and I talked about what I do, what I'm doing like in Barcelona, what I'm up to at this moment, like trans stuff, and he was just super receptive, even though he was like this old retired I'm talking shit about him. He's like, retired like ex-banker, has nothing to do with the world, but very interested in just yapping about about social stuff. He hit the mark where I think most people fit in for their opinion on like trans youth stuff, which was, I get it, you know, I just let people live their lives and everything for adults. I think that there's obviously people on the fence that are, there's people on one side of it that's just going to yell awful stuff at you and just tell you to kill yourself, all of that. And those are the sort of right-wing nut jobs. And then there's, you know, there's people that still criticize youth healthcare, but are more reasonable about it. You know, like that maybe they're being indoctrinated or they're just going through a phase or blah, blah, blah. I think everyone sort of has a bit of like I don't know if I trust a kid. Like, the way I think of trans care is like, you know, just chopping off dicks and pussies and balls and titties and whatever that. Like, it's just really scary. And what if a kid goes through a phase and then doctors just fucking kill him? You know, like, I think for people that don't know anything about it, that are just kind of see on the news what trans people are, like, you know, trans healthcare, whatever, that's where their mind goes. And that's what I got from this guy. And I ended up just pulling up some stuff to show him, like, oh, no, like, have a read. And it was a, like, 3-hour-long flight. So it was like, he had a read. And, yeah, I watched, like, the gears turning in this guy's head, where I was like, you know, like, and then just, he was fine with it afterwards. I watched the gears turn in his head. He looked at me to carry on the conversation, and he was just on board. He was just, I didn't know. Because it's just giving people access to healthcare and the ability to transition in, like, a safe environment massively decreases suicidal ideation in trans people in general. He just went, didn't know, I was misinformed, and then moved on, which was like a really inspiring thing as we were working on this video, to, like, you know, see someone's mind just be changed and then move on from it. And that's like an actual powerful person that I know. He's like a he's assumedly a very a multi-billionaire from everything I know about him. Wait for it. Hey, it's time for a donation goal. I don't know what I'll do for this one. I'll do anything. I don't care. Is Girl Month back? Yeah, Girl Month's back. If a major part of why I'm doing this stream in general is, buddy, all of the money that goes into Anne, it's not just a regular private clinic, chat. It's a not-for-profit clinic, which means it's all the money that is made as profit, like that would just go to some CEO somewhere. All of that just goes straight back to the, like, patients. Just subsidizes the cost of people's healthcare, or gives people healthcare that could have never afforded it in the first place. I told a friend about, like, how the system works last night while we were preparing, while I was getting a reaction for the video. I said, my friend actually has been off hormones for like 3 months, and this would really help. What the fuck? Dude, anyway, okay. There are an awful lot of people in a tricky position when it comes to like life-saving medication. If you're trans in the audience, you know that that's like off your meds, off like HRT completely for 3 months, and they're fine. You know, like that's, how do we access the fund? Well, that's on that I can direct you to. They've got a little hashtag care for Christmas of gifting healthcare, gift estrogen to your local transgender this Christmas.
It's been so long for Dono Gold.
I know, I'm so sorry. But this is the reason this is the dono goal. I said it's in dollars, so fuck it. But it's already raised to £2,300. I think this is a fun little goal. Obviously, I will be donating to this. I don't want to say what I'm going to be donating till after. In fact, fuck it. You know what we could do? How about this, chat? Every dollar that's donated, I'll match. I will donate to. If you donate $1 to the live stream, like the Transing Genders Fund, so Jack is, my editor has literally already put $20 into. Thank you, Jack. Then I will match the donations and send them to Anne. I don't think I quite have the Girl Month pull power of 15 grand in a single live stream without prepping for it at all. Make the goal higher? I can. Do you want me to? Listen, 10's gone. the whales are not as much here anymore. I'm
A few moments later.
Dude, it's Yo! It fucking happened! I didn't even have time to. God! Yo! It happened! Chat! Fuck, chat! What the fuck? Holy fucking shit! The goal that Anne set out for all of Christmas has just been met in under an hour.
Well done, F1 and Team Anne.
Dude, well done, Anne, for everything they're doing. Well done, you, Thank you, everyone that donated. That's fucking insane. I could like that's an amount of difference I couldn't have possibly done on my own. I'm glad that I get to match it. I will keep matching them, by the way, past 15 grand. If it hits 30, I'll match it.
Kind of trans.